related to the flux. Here, suppose this is one closed surface. Okay. And here one charge is placed inside. And what is the flux linked to the charge? If I ask, I think you can say the answer. It is Q by epsilon naught. Okay. If the charge is moved from A to B, means now the charge, the same charge, not additional charge. The same charge is placed here at B. Okay. Means if the charge is moved from A to B, okay, and still B is a point inside the Gaussian surface, what will be the flux? If I ask, what do you say, Nana?
Q by epsilon naught only, sir.
Still it is?
Q by epsilon naught.
Q by epsilon naught only. Means you are saying that even though it is moved from one position to the other position, the flux is Q by epsilon naught only. Means are you saying that it is independent of position of charge?
Yes, sir. Inside the closed surface, it is independent, sir.
Very good, very good. So you know that concept, independent of position. Okay, right. One point already you know, right? And next, suppose this is the charge placed in a sphere at the center. Okay, and the flux linked to the charge, to the spherical surface is Q by epsilon naught. This we know. Suppose the shape is changed. Okay, this is shape. It is actually spherical shape of radius r. The flux linked to this one is Q by epsilon naught. The shape is changed to from sphere to cube. Okay, cube of side length A. Okay, means here instead of sphere, if I place a cube like this, okay, then here its side length is A. The sphere is removed and a cube is placed. What will be the flux through the cube of side length A? Then what do you say? Sphere is replaced with the cube. Okay, nothing, Nana. Even though after replacing, simply you see the charge is present inside only. Okay, and you said already it is independent of position. That's why here the flux linked to cube is also equals to, this is for the sphere, is also equals to Q by epsilon naught. Very simple. Since after replacing the sphere with the cube of side length A, still the charge is inside. Means what I'm saying, suppose here it is one charge placed inside a circle, and the same charge here placed inside at the centroid of a triangle, and the charge is placed at the point of intersection of the charge of the square. Okay, in which shape, if they ask, the flux will be maximum or minimum, then I say here look at the shape is changed, but still the charge whatever I am taking, that is inside only. So here if you ask the flux through the circular shape, I say Q by epsilon naught. What is the flux through this triangular shape? I say Q2 is equals to Q by epsilon naught. Charge present inside by epsilon naught. And here also I say phi 3 is equals to what is the flux through this square? That is also the charge present inside by epsilon naught. Here there is no question of maxima or minima. Straight away we can say the flux through all the surfaces, okay, will be same. All the surfaces will be same. Okay. So from this example here, whatever I gave, the sphere is replaced with the cube and the charge is still present inside only. Okay, even though the sizes here he gave unnecessarily the radius of the sphere and side of cube just to confuse us. What is the flux? Okay, we got the same, and here also if the charge is present inside, irrespective of shape, we got the same flux through the three shapes. So we say the flux, another point we can say, it is independent of, okay, you said it is independent of position, and I am saying here extra independent of position as well as independent of shape. Okay, but keep in mind that charge should be inside only. Okay, while replacing, suppose this is the charge present at the center of the circle. Now that circle I am replacing with a square, and that square is placed here like this. Okay, outside, then obviously the flux will be changed. Why? Because after replacing the circle with the square, where you place the square? Here, somewhere here. Okay, and if you observe, charge is outside. In this case, we say the flux linked is equals to 0. Whereas previously I placed here a circle. Here the flux through the circle is equals to q by epsilon naught, and replaced with the square like this here. But the square is placed outside, means the charge is present outside. Then the flux linked to the square is equals to 0. That's why while replacing, means while saying this one, you better observe whether the charge is after replacing the shape, whether it is still present inside or not. Okay, Nana? And then here, suppose this is the flux through a sphere of radius r. Okay, by placing some charge, that flux, how much you can say? Phi is equals to q by epsilon naught. Okay. Suppose if I change the radius, like by doubling or tripling or quadrupling. Okay. Suppose the radius is quadrupled. Radius is changed to 4r. Okay. And again, I constructed one more sphere here of radius 4r. Means radius is changed to 4r. Then what will be the flux through the new sphere? If I ask, I think you can say the answer now. What will be the answer, Nana?
Q by epsilon naught, sir.
Obviously. Means here what we understood, even though the size of the shape is increased, the flux remains the same. Okay. Here we are not changing the shape. Shape is still sphere only. But what we did, the size is changed. Again, keeping the charge at the center of the new sphere. Okay, what will be the flux? Flux remains same. So we understood one more point. The flux through a closed surface is independent of portion of charge present inside, not outside. Charge present inside. Number two, independent of shape. Okay, whatever the shape you are taking under some condition, provided the charge is present inside, and also independent of the size. So finally we found 3 points, Nana. Independent of position, independent of shape, independent of size. Okay. So here straight away we can say the flux remains same. In all the cases, the condition is the charge should present while changing the size, while changing the shape, okay, while changing the position. The charge should be present inside only. Okay. So this is one concept, Nana, related to flux using simple logic only here. Okay. And then number two, suppose if I ask one charge, suppose this is one hemisphere, Nana. One charge is placed at the center of this circular face. Okay. And here I am asking, what is the flux linked to the spherical shape, spherical surface? Okay. Through this spherical surface, due to this charge, what is the flux? Flux means actually the electric field from the positive, if it is a positive charge, we have to draw away from the normal like this, away from the charge like this, we have to draw. These are the electric field lines originating from the positive charge Q. In this case, what is the flux linked to the surface? If they ask, what do you say, Nana?
Q by 2 epsilon naught, sir.
Very good. With what logic you are saying?
We have to imagine a Gaussian surface, sir.
Derive means how to derive or how to take the Gaussian surface there?
We have to form a sphere.
Closed surface, sir.
Oh, means you are trying to close this one like a sphere.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ah, very good. So full sphere, that flux linked is equals to, according to the formula, Q by epsilon. Since you have taken here hemisphere, so half of that part, the flux linked here, phi dash will be half of this one. Okay, that is Q by T epsilon. Ah, very good, very good. That is one model, right? And you told one more thing, sir, I will derive, how to derive, Nana? That is, okay. Suppose here, if you want to derive, Nana, in the spherical surface, we have to assume, through the spherical surface is asking, we have to assume some area, like some dA. Okay. And here you want to, if you want to derive, phi is equals to, derive means we have to use the formula closed integral of E dot dA. This is the formula to be used to derive something. Why? Because it is just a theorem. Phi is equals to the charge present inside by epsilon naught. Provided the surface should be closed. That's why here we close this one. If you open like this is not a closed one. The charge is at the open end here. So that's why actually you constructed the full sphere to close that charge. And here you use the Gauss theorem. And you will get the same answer, Nana, even by derivation also. If you assume some area here, look at anywhere on the spherical surface, if you assume some area, all those areas wherever you assume are at the same distance from the charge, which is equals to the radius of sphere. And that too here, if I drop a normal to the area, assumed area, the normal here will come. Why? Because area direction we have to measure with the normal. Normal direction you are getting in the direction of electric field. So in the dot product I have to write it is cos 0. Okay. And since whatever the area you construct on the Gaussian, on the spherical surface, all are at the same distance, means maintain same magnitude of electric field intensity. So I take E out, close the integral of this is dA, where E at a distance from positive charge, since it is a point charge, Nana, you know the electric field intensity at a point. That is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, generally formula is Q by R square due to a point charge. Distance is the R square into closed integral of dA. So this is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square into closed integral of dA, means that if you integrate the area of this spherical one, that area is actually not 4 pi R square, Nana. Since it is hemisphere, we have to take in that half. This is the area of full sphere. You will get the area of hemisphere in that half. That is 2 pi R square. Then R square get cancelled. 4 pi get cancelled. Sorry. R square get cancelled. 4 pi get cancelled. You are getting finally Q by 2 epsilon naught. You got the same answer. So you can use either Gauss theorem or you can derive like this. Okay, you will get the same answer. Okay, this is one model, Nana, here. And then Look at till now whatever we discussed. We are taking the charge now. The charge is placed in some closed surface. Suppose if I take that closed surface here, like this is one cube nana. Okay, I'm not drawing the full cube 3-dimensional. Okay, this is actually cube. In that, suppose one spherical cavity is made somewhere. That is one cavity. It is spherical cavity. Okay, is spherical hole in the cube, and I place one charge at the center or somewhere. Why? Because while calculating, you only told that it is independent of position of the charge. So here the flux, charge is placed at the center of that is spherical cavity. Okay. Suppose if I construct one Gaussian surface here like this, this is the surface 1, and here I take one more surface here, this is surface 2, and I take one more surface here, this is surface 3. Okay, through the 3 surfaces, what will be the flux? If I ask, what do you say? Okay, this is simple, Nana. Here, first of all, if you consider the third surface first, means phi 3, you can say very easily. Why? Because this is the spherical hole and it is the charge placed at the center or somewhere. And here the Gaussian surface he constructed inside the cavity only. Okay. There, this is the third surface what he took. Through that third surface, what will be the flux means? Very easy. The charge present inside is Q, that to plus Qi2. So plus Q by epsilon naught, straight away you can say now. Okay. Then look at outside this sphere, one more Gaussian surface he constructed. This is the second surface what he constructed. Okay. There, use simple logic now. Suppose here this is one cubical body. Inside one cavity is made and some charge is present. Okay. Then what happens? Due to this charge on the inner surface, by the method of induction, some charge will be induced. Okay. If it is insulator, the charge induced may not be equal to the charge present here. If it is a conductor, identical, same amount of charge will be induced. I think you know in charges and fields chapter. Suppose if I take it as some insulator, okay, then same amount of charge is not induced here. You will get some less amount of charge is induced on the inner wall of this one. Okay, here that charge will be like some Q dash. Okay, if it is plus, then it is minus. Okay, if minus Q dash is induced on in the inner wall, then obviously here plus Q dash will be induced. Okay, so here what we say, immediately what he is asking, he constructed the means here what I found. This is the charge. Third part is over now. So I am erasing the third Gaussian surface to get more clarity here. And this is the charge. If it is insulator, I got here minus Q dash. Positive charge induces a negative charge. And here on the cube, we got plus Q dash. Since it is totally one material, this is completely cube. Okay, and here initially the charge on it is 0. That's why even after induction also the total charge should be 0. That's why here if you consider the charge induced is minus Q dash, I have to consider there the charge should be plus Q dash. So the total charge on the cube is still 0 only. Okay. So here if you see the Gaussian surface number, the second one I say phi 2 is equals to, look at on the whole, two charges are there inside the Gaussian surface. One is the original charge, other is the induced charge. Or whereas plus q dash on the cube is outside. That's why here that q dash I won't consider. The charge present inside is q plus minus q dash by epsilon. Okay, if it is a conductor, okay, not insulator. If it is a conductor, means who the cube is a conductor. Then what I told, same amount of charge will be induced. If it is 2 coulombs, minus 2 coulombs will be induced. Means if it is q, that should be minus q. Then minus q dash should be equals to minus q. Then the flux input to the second surface, you have to say that is equals to q plus minus q dash, that is minus q, divided by epsilon naught, that should be 0. Okay, if it is conductor, what will be the answer? If it is insulator, what will be the answer? Both I explained now. And then you have to come to third one. Now I think after getting some idea, you can say the answer. Okay. Here the charge is q, here induced is minus q dash, here plus q dash. So if you take the second Gaussian surface phi 2, look at second Gaussian surface encloses all the three charges, q, q dash plus q dash. So the total charge present inside is q, original charge, plus minus q dash induced on the inner surface, and plus q dash on the outer surface divided by epsilon naught. That is equals to, I have to write q by epsilon naught. And this one remains same even though it is a conductor. Remains same even it is a conductor. Even the cube is a conductor. Okay. Why? Because even though the cube is a conductor, that minus q dash will be same q only. So we have to write here, since phi 2 is equals to q plus this is minus q plus that is plus q divided by epsilon. Altogether these two get cancelled here. That's why it will be q by epsilon naught only. Okay. This is one model if they give some cavity to the surface. Okay, means we have to apply what? The method of induction here if there is a cavity. Okay, this is one model, Nana. And sometimes here, if they ask, I think you can say the answer for this question. Suppose this is one square plate. Okay, and here a charge is placed outside at a height exactly half of the side length A. Okay, what will be the flux input to the square plate placed here? Means suppose this is the square plate, charge is placed somewhere here outside. This is the square plate I am considering, and charge is placed here at a height exactly A by 2, where A is the side length of the square plate. Okay, I think you can say what will be the answer for it, Nana?
We have to imagine cube as Gaussian surface, sir.
Ah, very good, very good. Means you have to assume one cube like this. Why you are assuming the cube here, Nana?
To make the surface closed, sir.
Yeah, this surface closed, and means not the surface, the charge closed. Since it is a square, we are going to construct along with this one the 6 walls in the shape of square. If 6 walls are in the shape of square, then cube will be formed. Yeah, you are right. And this is what A, B, C, D. That A, B, C, D after constructing I am seeing here. A, B, C, D. And the charge is at a height of A by 2, means this comes to the center of the cube, constructed cube. Then Afterwards, Nana? Okay, what is there, Nana? Simple. Here, this is Q. The total charge linked to the total cube, flux linked to the cube is equals to the charge present inside the cube, that is Q by epsilon naught. But he is asking through one phase. ABCD is a phase. Cube has 6 phases and charge is exactly at the center. So here you can say it is actually having 6 phases, Nana. So through 6 phases of Q, the charge, so flux is Q by epsilon naught. Through the one phase ABCD, through one phase, what will be the flux? Simple. Through one phase, the flux is equals to 1 into Q by epsilon naught divided by 6. Means you are getting Q by 6 epsilon naught through one phase. Okay, that is also simple, Nana. If I place even though the charge outside, okay, suppose if I ask one question, I think you know these two models. I'm not interested to say, just I'm asking. Suppose in the cube, Nana, if the charge is placed at the center, the flux linked to the cube is Q by epsilon naught. If the charge is placed at the center of a face, then the flux linked to the cube is
Q by 2 epsilon naught.
yeah, that's what I expected. Yeah, you know it. And if the charge is placed at one of the corners, Nana?
Q by 8 epsilon naught.
Right, very good. In this case, flux linked to one face?
Q by epsilon naught, sir.
Through one face, Nana?
Q by 6 epsilon naught.
Q by 6 epsilon. No, Nana. What you are saying, if I place the charge at the center through one face, I got Q by 6 epsilon naught. And here I am asking charge is placed at one corner. Okay. You told that charge as the flux linked to the cube. Here you are saying Q by 8 epsilon naught. Okay. Now this is through the cube, given cube. Yeah, your answer is
Q by 48 epsilon naught.
Q by
Epsilon naught.
48, 8, 6 of 1. No, no, no. Means you are using the same logic. Sir, through the cube 8 by 8 epsilon naught, this is for 6 phases, sir. Through one phase, how much?
Yes, sir.
Problem is, Nana, suppose if I take the charge like at the corner, okay, to understand, I will bring one book, Nana. Here, suppose if I take one book like this, okay, and suppose the charge is placed at one corner. Charge is placed at one corner here. The problem is that charge produces zero flux through this phase. Why? Because if you draw the field lines, they are coming parallel to this surface. Through this phase, what I'm saying, through this phase, if I draw the lines, they are coming parallel. Okay. So through one phase, flux lines are parallel. Flux linked to the surface is zero. Why? Because electric field is like this and normal drawn is perpendicular to the electric field. So if you take closed integral of E dot ds, the dot product will give zero. Okay. What? Flux equals to zero. That's why through this phase, you will get flux is equals to zero. Why? Because electric field lines are like this, like this, like this. Okay. Those electric field lines are actually perpendicular to the normal drawn to the area. So one phase, flux zero, problem. Number two, this corner is linked to the upper phase also, this phase also. Why? Because charge is placed here. If you draw the electric field lines from the point charge, you will get like this, like this, like this. You look at here, those field lines are also parallel through this surface. Parallel, again drop the normal, they are perpendicular. Perpendicular means through the top face also zero. Means what I am saying in the diagram, through this phase, flux is equals to zero. it is linked to this face also, top face, flux is equals to 0, and this is linked to the other side also. Means here back side. Okay, back side means if I give the names like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, what I am saying, B, C, H, G, 0, F, G, H, E, 0, and back side C, D, E, H, that face also the flux is 0. Means this side, what I am saying, if I place the charge here, same problem arises, the field lines are coming parallel to the surface. If field lines are parallel to the surface, flux linked through it is 0. Since we have to find out the flux with the dot product. Okay. So here, don't put cos 0, nana. Field lines are parallel means they are perpendicular to the area. Okay. Perpendicular to the normal drawn to the area. That's why the flux through the other face also 0. So altogether, you are observing that actually it has 6 faces, but through 1, 2, 3 faces, flux 0. So the total flux linked to the cube will be there for the remaining 3 faces. For the remaining 3 faces means we have to take here only 3 faces, Nana. Why? Because already I explained here, flux through 1, 2, 3 equals to 0. So I have to take 4, 5 and 6. Okay, remaining 3 phases I am counting. So through 1 phase is equals to, this is the flux linked to 3 phases now, not 6 phases. So through 1 phase, what is the flux? Then you can say flux linked to 1 phase is equals to, in the same logic, Q by 8 epsilon naught, not into 6, that is into 3 here, that is Q by 24 epsilon naught. Okay, I think now you can say the answer even if I ask that question here. Suppose that charge, previously I asked you, is placed not at the corner you told now, place at the center you told, through the cube, Q by epsilon naught, through 1 phase, Q by 6 epsilon naught. If I place the charge at corner, there also you told, through the cube, Q by 8 epsilon naught, but through 1 phase, it is Q by 24 epsilon naught. If I place the charge at the phase center, then you told flux through the cube is equals to Q by 2 epsilon naught. Then what is the flux through 1 phase here?
Q by 10 epsilon naught, sir.
Nana?
Q by 10 epsilon naught.
Very good. This time you told correct. Why? Because if I place the charge here, the field lines, whatever we are drawing, are parallel to this surface only. Means BCHG. So through BCHG, the flux is equals to 0. So here the flux linked to remaining phases, 5 phases. So through 5 phases, it is Q by 2 epsilon naught. Through 1 phase is equals to how much? Q by 5 2s are 10 epsilon naught. Very good. This time you follow. Right, good. So this is the story, Nana. Okay. Actually, I think you know them. Majority of the parts there, you know them. And then if I come, suppose till now you observe, Nana, I am taking only one charge. Okay. There, suppose if I take, this is a cube, Nana. Okay, already constructed there. This is a cube. And in this cube here, in this cube, Nana, suppose I place, instead of one charge, 2 charges, Nana. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, R. Okay. Now, if I place one dipole, okay, which is completely present inside, I think you can say the answer. What is the flux linked to the cube? You can say the answer. I think you know it. What will be the answer, Nana? Ayo, think wisely here. Dipole has two equal and opposite charges, Nana.
0, sir.
Yeah. Flux input through the cube is 0. Why? Because Q inside is equals to 0. Okay, very good. So your answer is correct. If a dipole is completely placed inside, okay. Suppose if I ask, this dipole is placed like one charge is at the center of the cube, other charge is outside the cube, like this here, and its length is L. Okay, and here I am taking one positive charge, there I am taking one negative charge. Okay, then what will be the flux linked to the, why? Because this dipole is actually penetrating whom? The face AEFD. Okay, like ADEF. So what is the flux linked to the face ADEF equals to how much? If I ask, do you have any idea?
Q by 6 epsilon naught, sir.
Q by 6 epsilon naught means you are saying that due to the charge present inside. Okay, right? Okay, if I take flux due to the positive charge plus Q placed inside, okay, due to plus Q through ADEF.
And again for minus Q, we
And
have
you are
to,
telling that it is Q by 6 epsilon naught. Since it is positive, it is plus. Okay, and that too, what kind of flux means? If you draw the field lines, it is leaving flux. Leaving flux, leaving the face ADEF. But I think you are not considering the negative charge, Nana. Why? You are saying that the charge is present outside, sir. That's why we are not considering these charges, sir.
for negative charge also we need to assume one more cube, sir.
This is correct. So here to consider the negative charge, we are assuming one more cube here. Through that assumed cube, Nana, here, the flux through the face is, okay, due to the assumed face, assumed cube, flux through the face ADEF is equals to, I think you can say, how much is
Again Q by minus Q by 6 epsilon naught.
Q by?
6 epsilon naught.
Right, good. Q by 6 epsilon. Okay. And since it is negative, you say minus Q. So what will be the total flux through the cube?
0.
0. But it is not the answer. Okay. Why? See here, till almost to the last step, we got correct only. But the final answer is not correct, Nana. Where will be the mistake? If you see there, sometimes what I am saying, you have to use some common sense here. What, sir? This is minus Q. Okay? Means through the face, if you observe, minus Q means the flux is entering like this. This is the flux due to the negative charge. Okay? And it is entering flux to the assumed sphere. Assumed cube. Okay? But look at here, due to the original cube, it is entering into the assumed cube, means it is leaving the given cube or entering the given cube.
Leaving the given cube.
Obviously, that implies it is leaving the given cube. Means look at, through the positive charge, I got the leaving flux. Here also I got the leaving flux. Both are in the same direction now. Means if you draw the diagram, you will get the answer. It is the direction of the flux due to the negative charge, and it is the direction of flux due to the positive charge. Okay, due to the positive charge, due to the negative charge, I am not getting in opposite direction, Anna. I am getting in the same direction. Same direction means I have to take the flux through the phase is equals to, due to positive charge, q by 6 epsilon naught, plus I have to take not minus, this is q by 6 epsilon naught, total flux is equals to, this is q by 3 epsilon naught. So understood, Nana, where wait, I means you did the mistake there? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
All right, good, Nana. Then,
sir.
then here, suppose if I say this is also positive charge, means plus q and plus q, it is not a dipole, just two charges are placed at a distance of L, and it is at the center, and it is positive charge plus q. What will be the answer, Nana?
Now it is 0.
Very good. Now it is 0. Why? Because the flux due to positive charge, you will get away from the positive charge like this. Now you are entering into the original Q, and you will get the same thing, but in opposite direction. The answer will be 0. Right. Good. This is one model, Nana. Here means even though the charge present outside, observe here we are getting some flux not through the Q, flux through one phase. Okay. If I ask, even though it is a dipole placed like this, what is the flux input to the whole Q? Then answer is over. Answer is Q by epsilon naught. That is only one charge present inside. So the answer is Q by epsilon naught. Why? Because other charge is present outside. This through the Q. But through one phase, we are not getting Q by 6 epsilon naught. We are getting Q by 3 epsilon naught. Okay. So through one phase, you have to remember from this question, we have to remember the concept that what, even though the charge is present outside, that charge may produce some flux through the phase, one phase, not through the whole Q, through one phase. Okay, good. This is the question, Nana. To understand more clearly here, suppose if I ask, this is one cylinder. Okay, and this is the axis of the cylinder. Okay, taken like this. And on the axis, one charge is placed here, unnecessary data. It is exactly at a distance of L by 2 from the one face. And it is the length of the cylinder. Actually, that is unnecessary data. And here, one more unnecessary data here, the radius of the cylinder. Okay. What is the flux linked through the circular face here? Suppose this is the end A and it is the end B. Through the circular faces A, B, and through the cylindrical face. If I ask,
Through the circular faces 0.
through the
Circular faces 0.
no, Nana.
Perpendicular, sir.
Through circular face, Nana.
Through cylindrical face 0.
Yeah. Through the cylindrical face, okay, not 0 actually, we have to see that one. Okay. Why? Because your problem is charge is present outside, Nana. Charge is present outside means we have to find out that charge here actually makes how much angle at the two ends. Okay, means it is little bit complicated compared to that problem. Okay, suppose if I say here means okay, you can do one thing here, Nana. By taking this simple, suppose this is the given cylinder, okay, and it is L. What he gave, it is placed at a distance of L by 2. You can do one thing here. You can construct one more cylinder of length L so that this charge will come to the center. Okay. And here the flux linked to the whole cylindrical part here means the whole cylinder is equals to, you can say phi is equals to Q by epsilon naught. This is through the assumed cylinder. Okay. Of course, through the given whole cylinder, the flux you can say that is equals to 0. Why? Because charge is present outside. So this one you have to understand properly, Nana. This flux is actually linked to two circular faces and one cylindrical face. So I have to write this is equal to phi1 plus phi2 plus phi3 is equals to Q by epsilon naught. Whereas phi1 is the flux through the circular face. What is the flux through the other circular face? And what is the flux through the cylindrical face? Okay. Here the problem is the point charge never produce the electric field in the given one particular direction. It will produce the electric field like this also. Even this side also. Like. Okay. One thing you can say, here this is leaving flux, there also it is leaving flux. If I place the charge at the center. Since it is at the center, the flux through this circular face is equals to flux through the other circular face. Means if I take them as phi1 and phi2, I can write one thing. Phi1 is equals to phi2. So here I can write it as 2 phi1, okay, plus phi3 is equals to Q by epsilon naught. So what is phi1 means we have to come to know phi3. Phi3 don't say straight away that is equals to 0, Nana. Suppose if the field lines I take like this, only these type of lines are perpendicular to the face, Nana. Perpendicular to the face means again you observe it is actually parallel to the normal drawn. So look at here, at different points if you drop a normal, the electric field and the normal drawn are making some angle. That angle continuously changes. It's not so easy to say. Okay. But one thing we can say, the flux through this face is not equal to 0. That we can say. Then how to calculate, sir? Okay. Later I will explain, Nana, after giving some concept. Okay. Okay. Now only we start that concept to understand this question. Here you have to understand, suppose this is one charge, Nana. Okay, place it here. And I take one circular face here. Okay, like this. Through the circular face, if I place from the center at a distance one charge here, then how to find what will be the flux through that face? Okay, that thing is you have to go through some bit mathematics now. By taking it as a center, you have to construct here a sphere. Oh God. First I construct the sphere and it is the circular face I am assuming. Okay, and here this is the charge placed at the center. Now it is there. Okay, I am asking through this circular face. Through this circular face means we have to find out through the whole sphere of steradian angle 4 pi radians. Steradian angle, 3-dimensional angle I am saying now. For a sphere, I think you know in your mathematics, steradian angle is 4 pi steradian. Okay, for the full sphere. Then this circle, what I assumed here, makes how much steradian angle at the center? Means this is steradian angle. Okay, that steradian angle, if you know, then we can say for the full sphere means 4 pi steradian, the flux is Q by epsilon naught. Then for this steradian angle, directly we can say what will be the flux. Okay. That time, and I think you know in your mathematics, if it is the steradian angle, okay, and here this is the plane angle with the line dropped here from the center, like it is just like a cone, Nana. Okay, cone semi-vertex angle is suppose theta. Okay, do you know that value, Nana? Relation between plane angle and steradian angle of that cone, Nana?
Sigma equals to 2 pi into 1 minus cos theta, sir.
Very good. That formula only you are going to use. Here sigma is equals to the steradian angle is equals to what you said, Nana, 2 pi into 1 minus cos theta. Okay. So from that mathematics formula, you are going to find out what is the flux through this surface. Through the whole sphere, you are saying Q by epsilon naught. Through this part, through this area, what will be the flux? So here 2 pi into 1 minus cos theta into Q by epsilon naught by 4 pi. Okay, this is the flux through what you asked here, through this part. Okay, the flux through that part. That is actually what you are getting, Nana, by 2. You are getting Q by 2 epsilon naught into 1 minus cos theta. You can say. Okay, if you use this concept here, I think you can say the flux through this circular face. Okay, see here, if they ask the question like this, it is not much easier like a cube. In that cube, we did not use all these things. Straight away, we told what is the flux through one phase if a dipole is placed like this, plus Q and minus Q. Straight away, we told through this one, the flux is Q by 6 epsilon naught. Okay, but here we are unable to tell if the shape is changed. Okay, through the whole cylinder, 0. Through the circular face, he is asking. Through the circular face, I think now you can tell. Okay, there what I require, Nana, with this information by constructing another cylinder like this, like in the cube problem, we are not getting the answer. That's why here that construction is not helpful here to solve in a simple manner. So that shortcut is not valid for this problem particularly. Then in this case, how you calculate the flux through the circular face if you know the semi-vertex angle here. Okay, so semi-vertex angle, that I think you can say. He said it is R at and this is L by 2. So you can say cos theta is equals to adjacent side L by 2 by hypotenuse, which is root of R square plus L by 2. Okay, that cos theta I substitute here. Then through the circular face phi 1, I am telling it is equals to Q by 2 epsilon naught into 1 minus this cos theta I substitute it. Okay. So understood, Nana, how to find if the charge is present outside of a cylinder. Okay.
Yes, sir.
From this concept we calculated. Now if I ask, suppose what will be the flux through the other circular face at B? Ayo, same way, Nana. Charge is placed here, so you have to say by constructing one cone like this, then what will be semi-vertex cone angle here, theta. For the other face, semi-vertex cone angle means here again that theta adjacent side will be how much? L plus L by 2, 3L by 2. So that time, suppose if you take it as theta 2 and this one as theta 1, then cos theta 2 is equals to, you can write what the Q by 2, cos theta 2 equals to adjacent side L plus L by 2, 3L by 2 by root of again R square plus here this side square is 3L by 2 whole square. Then you can say phi 2 is equals to again Q by 2 epsilon naught into 1 minus cos theta 2. That theta 2 is substitute here. Okay, this is phi 2. Now I am asking phi 1 and phi 2 whether they are positive or negative. Think wisely. Simple, leaving flux is positive, entering flux is negative.
Positive.
Which is positive?
Leaving flux, sir, for A.
Ayyo, I'm not able to hear. Nana. Both are positive.
Yes, sir. For both phi 1 and phi 2 are positive.
No, I think once you see here, if you draw the field lines through this cylindrical face, then look at here, they are entering this face, they are entering into. Whereas here, through this face, while coming out, they are leaving this face. Entering here, leaving there. So this is entering flux, Nana. Entering flux means it is negative, whereas that is leaving flux, so it is positive. Okay, okay, try to remember. And then here, if I ask what is the flux linked to this cylindrical face, Nana? Okay, that is also easy. Why? Because after placing the charge outside, total flux linked to the cylinder is 0. Phi is equals to 0 means already you wrote here something like phi 1 plus phi 2 plus phi 3 is equals to 0, sir. You already calculated flux through the two circular faces phi 1 and phi 2, sir, including the sign like entering flux and leaving flux. So you are asking what is the flux linked to the third cylindrical face. Means phi 3 is nothing but what? Minus of phi 1 minus of phi 2. Okay, that is minus of like phi 1 minus phi 2. So substitute phi 1, which is minus q by 2 epsilon naught into 1 minus cos theta 1, and that is minus phi 2 is minus, that is q by 2 epsilon naught into 1 minus cos theta 2, and this is minus q by 2 epsilon naught into 1 minus cos theta 1. Here one more minus you will get. Means all together you are getting plus q by 2 epsilon naught common 1 minus.
Sir, minus of phi 1 plus phi 2, sir.
Sorry, Nana, sorry. Right. So here, if I take, now I am correct. Suppose here, if I take q by 2 epsilon naught common, here I will get minus of 1 minus cos theta 1 and plus here 1 minus cos theta 2. Okay, I think you will get the answer now. Okay, minus 1 plus 1 get cancelled, then it will be cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. This is the flux through the cylindrical face. Okay, Nana? Right. Likewise, we have to solve, Nana, related to that concept. Okay. Till now you observe, we took some charge. Okay. But if charge is not given, electric field is given. Means till now we used the concept of phi is equals to q by epsilon naught. We used the Gauss theorem only. Okay. And except in very few problems, we did not use E dot ds. That is E dot dA. Okay. Suppose here, if they ask the questions like, suppose this is one hemispherical bowl, Nana. Okay. If they give the electric field is present in this direction, complete throughout, means that actually the ball is placed in the uniform electric field. Like this. And here, second one, suppose the same ball, hemispherical ball, is placed in some uniform electric field like this. Okay. And third one, suppose the electric field is making some angle here like this, some theta. Here it is also some uniform electric field. Then the fourth one, suppose the electric field is given like this. And it is also uniform. Means magnitude is same, but directions are different. Okay, better we write E, magnitude is equals to constant. at all points, but direction will be different. Okay, here magnitude and direction both means all the times the electric field here taken like parallel lines, and here also parallel lines. Okay, if I ask what is the flux linked to the spherical surface and the circular surface, what do you say the answer, Nana? The two questions here.
0, sir.
0. Both are 0. Okay, right. So you are right. Spherical surface 0, circular surface 0. Okay, so you know this one. Very good. And what about the second one, Nana? What is the flux through spherical and what is the flux through circular?
Circular is ES, spherical minus ES.
ES, where S is?
Area.
Which area, Nana?
2 pi r square.
Suppose if I give the radius as r, 2 pi r square. Are you saying 2 pi r square or something?
2 pi r square, sir.
Here you did the mistake, Nana. Suppose any surface is placed, three-dimensional surface, is placed in uniform electric field. Through the whole part, flux is 0, no doubt at all. Why? Because here, suppose if you see the spherical, whatever the flux entering is equals to the flux leaving here. So through the spherical surface 0, and through the circular, the field lines are perpendicular to the normal drawn. So the dot product between E and dA is 0. That's why easily you told there. But here, Nana, flux through the circular face, very easily I can calculate. Okay. Why? Because if I drop the normal here to the circular surface, both are in opposite direction. So flux through the circular face, I have to write closed integral of E dot dA cos 180. I have to write. There I will get what E is uniform taken out, and area through this one I am calculating. So area of this circular part, now don't write 2 pi r square, that is pi r square. Cos 180 is minus. So flux through the circular face is negative, which is E into pi r square. Okay, and that you can say why? Because through the circular face flux is entering. That's why I got minus. Through the spherical, you can't calculate. You have to integrate now. Why? Because if you assume an area here, I have to take the normal like this, making some angle, and I have to integrate. But without integration also you can do. Why? Because flux total is equals to 0. Means flux through the spherical plus flux through the circular total is equals to 0. Flux through the circular already I know. That's why flux through the spherical is minus of flux through the circular, minus of minus, that will be E into not 2 pi r square, you are getting E into pi r square. Okay, so flux through the spherical surface is plus E into pi r square, here this is minus E into pi r square. I think with that knowledge now you can say the answer. What is the flux through the spherical, what is the flux through the circular? Here you can say. What will be the answer, Nana?
E pi r square into cos theta, sir.
That is plus or minus through the circular?
Plus, sir.
How can you say plus, Nana? If you take the normal here, every you have to take in the dot product, Nana, angle between E and normal drawn to the area, that is cos theta here. Theta is the angle between normal drawn to the electric field. Look at this is 90 plus theta, Nana. Cos 90 plus theta is minus sin theta you are getting. Okay. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Then here phi through the circular face means I have to type closed integral of E dot dA cos theta between normal drawn to the E. that is 90 plus theta. Why? Because he gave with the horizontal. 90 plus theta, that is minus sine theta. So I am getting minus E sine theta into dA, closed integral of d of this circular part is pi r square. Okay. If they give the angle with the normal, with the perpendicular, then simple, minus E cos theta pi r square. Why? Because he gave the angle here, this is theta. Suppose if they give, if it is theta, then you can say the total angle with the normal will be here 180 minus
180 minus theta.
right. Again, cos 180 minus theta is minus cos theta. So you will get minus E cos theta pi r square. If they give the way with the perpendicular means y axis, here with the x axis, you will if they give the angle, you will get the answer as E minus E sine theta into pi r square. Okay. And here I think you can say flux through the circular. Why? Because total should be 0. Total 0 means flux through the spherical is equals to minus flux through the circular. That you can say plus E sine theta into pi r square. Okay. There, Nana. There, this type of model we already did, Nana. If I place the charge here, you will get the electric field like this. Okay. By assuming the here another sphere, first problem I think we solved. Here the flux through that surface is equals to Q by 2 epsilon naught. You told. Same way you have to say here. Okay. How, sir? Very simple. Everywhere, if you take the normal drawn to the surface, that is coming in the same direction of electric field. Any point, if you drop the normal to the surface. So at all points on the spherical part, this is the spherical part now. At all points of this spherical part, you are getting E and normal in the same direction. In the same direction means the flux is equals to closed integral of E dot dA. Both are in the same direction. I have to write cos 0. So I will get that flux is equal to plus E. E magnitude is constant, taken out, integral dA. Okay. Where you are dropping the normal here to the spherical surface. Spherical surface area is, since it is hemisphere, the area of spherical surface is 2 pi r square. Therefore, flux is equals to plus E into 2 pi r square. Okay. Again, we prove that here, since the flux is leaving the spherical surface, okay, all the field lines are leaving. That's why flux is positive. Okay. Here entering, so circular negative. Here, when you come to spherical surface, leaving the spherical surface, leaving here. Okay. That's why it is positive. You got it. So we can directly say, Nana, entering flux is negative, leaving flux is positive. Okay. When it is placed in uniform electric field. Okay. Suppose if I place this one in non-uniform electric field, then what happens? Means, okay. Right. This is what we discussed when it is placed in non-uniform electric field, when electric field is given, when the potential is given. Okay, this part, oh, right. Then suppose, okay, we stop here related to the flux concept now. Oh, right. Just will I ask one question from rolling motion now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. There, from rolling motion, suppose today if you get the questions like slipping and rolling, okay, means suppose if they give one question, suppose this is one sphere, okay, which is spinned Means sometimes the spin bowlers, they spin the ball in the hand like this. Okay. If they spin the ball and then after spinning the ball placed on some surface, horizontal surface. Okay. Of course, it is rough. Okay. Given some initial angular velocity omega naught, but not given any translatory velocity. Okay. Then here, suppose if they ask, after a certain time, if the sphere starts pure rolling, okay, what will be its linear velocity, angular velocity? And suppose if they give after certain time, it gets angular velocity of this much, then how to find the time? Two models here now. Okay, there, very simple. First of all, suppose here after spinning the sphere, giving some angular velocity like this, some omega naught, placed on some horizontal surface which is rough here. The problem is after coming in contact, the spinning motion is giving some velocity in this direction, which is v is equals to r omega. Okay, but there is no velocity in this direction. Velocity of center of mass is equals to 0, initial linear velocity. Okay, so here don't assume the friction acts in this direction. Why? Because these points are trying to move left side. That's why immediately friction will act in the forward direction. This is the direction of friction. That friction is trying to give some linear velocity towards right. Okay, means this friction this time actually supporting the motion. Okay, suppose after certain time, if it comes from this position to some other position here, okay, due to this friction, it gets, why? Because initial velocity here u is equals to 0 now. Suppose the final velocity here, you take it, get some velocity v, okay, velocity is increased by the friction, okay, but that friction, look at here, if you assume the axis at the center is creating some perpendicular distance from axis, since there is some perpendicular distance, torque will be there, torque r bar from axis to f bar, if you see, it will create anti-clockwise torque now. Anti-clockwise torque means, of course, what I'm saying along the positive z-axis. Anti-clockwise torque means, look at torque and the initial angular velocity, both are in opposite direction. Opposite direction means torque tries to reduce the angular velocity. So here, this angular velocity, suppose 10 here, it will not be 10 there, and it will be like some 3 or 4 radian per second decreased. So here the angular velocity is suppose omega, and at this position starts pure rolling. Why? Because initially the r omega is not balanced by any linear velocity of center of mass. So here this is slippery motion, and slipping and moving forward, and it comes to suppose this position. The angular velocity gives some velocity here, which is r omega, tangential velocity, and the center of mass has some velocity, this is v. If these two are equal, then it starts pure rolling at that point. Okay, according to the condition of rolling motion. Okay, to find out omega nana, no need to use here any translatory equation or rotatory equation. Okay, since the frictional force is the internal force between the sphere and the surface, okay, here we can apply At the first position and at the second position, same friction is acting, Nana. So change in friction is 0. That's why here to there, the additional torque developed is 0. That's why here you can say the angular momentum at this position will be equal to the angular momentum at that position. Means I'm going to use law of conservation of angular velocity. Okay, law of conservation of angular velocity means if you see here angular momentum, law of conservation of angular momentum here I have to write due to omega, omega is omega naught, plus for body rolling I said yesterday I omega naught plus mvr is the total angular momentum. But here the velocity of center of mass is 0, so you won't get mvr here. Okay, this is initial. Means it is clearly saying that it is only rotating motion at the initial position. But once it starts its motion after coming to other position, here the angular velocity is omega, means angular momentum is I omega, not omega naught. And it has some velocity also, linear velocity of center of mass plus mv or v right. Okay, suppose it is given as a sphere, Nana. Body is known like a solid sphere. Okay, simply mention sphere means that sphere, not mention like solid or hollow. We have to consider that sphere as solid sphere. So suppose given as sphere means solid sphere. Solid sphere I we know 2 by 5 mr square into omega naught is equals to 2 by 5 mr square into omega plus m. He wants omega at this position. Also omega at this point v is equals to r omega. Why? Because it starts pure rolling. In pure rolling condition is the velocity of center of mass is equals to r omega when the ground is at rest. So here v is equals to r omega means v of center of mass I replace with r omega into omega, that is mr square omega. You will get here 7 by 5 mr square omega. So you are getting the answer here. What will be omega? It is mr square omega. So get cancelled, by 5 get cancelled. I am getting omega is equals to what, Nana? 2 by 7 omega naught. If they ask omega without using any torque equation or force equation, we found there. Suppose even if they ask what will be the velocity, linear velocity means velocity of center of mass when it starts at pure rolling. Then I can say velocity of center of mass here v is equals to r omega. So v is equals to r into this omega, which is 2 by 7 into r omega naught. I can say. Okay. So to find out omega, we don't want any equations now. But if you want some time, then we require Nana. What? Any equation, either translatory or rotatory equation. Okay. Suppose here, if I use the rotatory equation, Nana, the torque due to friction, F into perpendicular distance in anti-clockwise, F into R, it is opposing torque, Nana. So minus Fr, and no other forces are there, Nana. F into R is equals to, I have to use I alpha, your formula. This is actually the total torque acting on the body. Okay. Generally, the torque we write it as I alpha. So I alpha is equals to minus F into R. Okay. Minus F into R is equals to I. I we write it as mr 2 by 5 mr square into alpha. From this we can write what we will get the friction, Nana. Okay. So here minus F into R is equals to 2 by 5 mr square. If you are able to find out the friction, then directly you can say the alpha you will get there, Nana. That alpha we write like V minus U by T, omega minus omega naught by T. Look at here, omega is known, omega naught is known, and if you subtract those two, you will get some minus value. Minus minus get cancelled. F suppose given there, you can find out the time. Okay, so if they give the friction is something, okay, mu is given, mass is given, g is given, then you can say the answer. Okay, this is the story, Nana, when it starts pure rolling at certain instant. Okay, understood this model, Nana?